Hello random people on the internet, I'm Elsbeth and welcome to my booktube channel where I basically just babble about books. Today's video is another weekly wrap up. I don't know if you guys actually like these because my last video got 1 view. So I don't know, maybe you guys got bored of me. But yeah, this week I read 6 books, which I would say is quite a lot considering I've gone back to school this week, but I guess I've got into the habit of reading in the evenings and reading ebooks on transport and stuff. First book I've got on this list, although it's actually the last book I finished because I read it last night. It's A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, which is the second book in the ACOTAR series. I really enjoyed it. It's a very thick book. It's the perfect length of book for me, which is around 600 pages, which is my vibe. Yeah, it has a very different tone to the first book, which you would understand if you read it, but I don't want to spoil anything, and it's a bit more mature in comparison to the first book, but I think it was written well and I enjoyed it. Yeah, and I gave it a 6 out of 7. The next few books that I'm going to talk about are all ebooks on the library app that works with my local library. And the first one is We Had No Rules by Corinne Manning. I gave this a 4 out of 7. It was advertised for me as short stories with LGBT fiction, so I thought, oh, that's nice, it might be quite uplifting and happy, and it wasn't quite the vibe that I had anticipated, so yeah, 4 out of 7. I wouldn't say no, don't read it, but it wasn't what I expected and I didn't enjoy it that much. Then we have You Let Me In by Camilla Bruce, which was interesting. I liked it, and I gave it a 5 out of 7, but it was quite weird in the fact that you never really sort of sense whether one of the main characters is real or not, or just a fragment of the other character's imagination. It's about a girl who when she was younger let in a fairy or an imaginary friend. We don't find out which one, and it's a story of her and how she grows up and gets mixed up with a murder and all sorts of things like that. Next we have The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. I gave it a 5 out of 7. I'm going to be honest, I don't completely remember totally what it's about, but it's within the gothic genre, and yeah. After that, I read The Death of Vivek Oji, which is a very popular book at the minute. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 6 out of 7. And I would try to pronounce his surname, but I know that I will absolutely butcher it, and I really don't want to offend the author because it's a very good book. As you can probably tell from the title, it surrounds the death of someone called Vivek Oji and the people that are close to him in his community where he lived. Finally on this list we have Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I really enjoyed this. It was really weird because it sort of takes place in the mind of a 15-year-old boy who's run away from home, and nothing seems to make sense entirely. It's a bit dreamlike. I mean, I've heard that Murakami has like a sort of dreamlike thing going on in a lot of his books. I really liked it in this. It was really weird at times, like super weird, but in other times it was really interesting and enjoyable. So yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 7. So those were all the books that I read this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, yay! If you didn't, I'm sorry. And I'll see you at some point for another video.